So under constitutional law, there are three basic tests by which the court will examine the law in order to determine if it's constitutional or not. That is the rational basis test, the intermediate scrutiny test, and the strict scrutiny test. Now, obviously, rational basis is the lowest form. Rational basis just means that it has to be rationally related to a government interest that they are trying to protect. This test would generally apply to almost every law that is infringing on someone's social class based on age or wealth or disability or some other minor classification. Next up is intermediate scrutiny. Now, intermediate scrutiny is going to be the next level above rational basis. This is going to be that there has to be an important government interest that is at play, and it has to be related to that interest that they are trying to protect. But unlike rational basis, it can't just be related in some way. It has to be substantially related to that interest. This level of scrutiny has typically been applied to sexual orientation cases. Now, the next level is going to be strict scrutiny. Now, this is where your enumerated rights are going to fall. Strict scrutiny requires that the actual basis be for a compelling governmental interest, which is higher than important, and that it be done with the least restrictive means possible. Now, these are going to be race, national origin, First Amendment, Second Amendment. All of these things are going to fall here. Now, to do it in the least restrictive way possible means that they have to come up with some method that doesn't infringe on your rights more than is necessary in order to accomplish that compelling governmental interest. Now, compelling governmental interests typically apply to protection of life, liberty, and happiness, and pursuit of happiness. These are the fundamental rights that you have that we are allowing the government to infringe upon only for these reasons that we find truly compelling. Now, in the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the recent Supreme Court decision not to put a stop on the New York law that is mandating vaccines for healthcare workers and is not allowing a religious exemption. I think this is an abject failure of the Supreme Court because it is clear that they've failed to try to create some lesser restriction for people claiming a religious exemption. And it's clearly possible at this point. We have many treatments for COVID. We have masks. We have social distancing. There are tons of ways that they could accomplish that, and they're just refusing to do so.